Hi, Ava.
Hey, Maya.
I don't feel like going home.
I don't feel like going home either.
What are we gonna do?
Let's just chill here.
Are we allowed to?
It's public property, isn't it?
Guess what Megan wore to school today?
OMG. There's Sergeant Be Safe.
Let's get it on, baby. Cause I'm ready to start. Take the locks off the cage, cause I'm ready to buck.
It's late. What are you girls doing here?
Are we in trouble?
Trespassing, loitering and prowling, along with curfew violations, are a big deal.
Thank you, but I'll take it from here, Captain Chaos. Rules are made for a reason. A lot of bad things can go on after curfew. We're gonna have to call your parents.
You girls must have snuck out, which is not good.
Ladies, thank you for showing up in a timely manner. Just want to let you know, this will be a warning for them. They can't be out past curfew, especially on private property. Not only that, but they're also loitering and prowling. You two are able to take your daughters home. I know they'll get straightened out.
You and Captain Chaos keep up the great work.
Thank you, Sergeant Be Safe. We will straighten them out.
Well, I'm glad we got that situated.
Absolutely. Seemed like a mistake that was innocent enough. I'm glad we got the opportunity to educate the kids and make their parents aware. The work of a public servant is never over. One job down and many more to go. And that's your tip of the day. Get you on your way.
Welcome to Black and Blue, the podcast that's just for you. We bring solutions to everyday problems. We are here to humanize the badge. By interviewing first responders and discussing their trainings, experiences, and publications. Black and Blue airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in.
Let's go start the show.
And here we are again. We are back on the platform and we go live weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the platform Black and Blue, where we highlight individuals who are first responders or in law enforcement, whether they're rookie season or retirees. And when we highlight them, we discuss their experiences, their publications, and their trainings. And we have a lot of fun doing it. I'm Coach Clee. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker here joining you again today. And I got a special guest backstage right now. Some of you may know who she is based on what's been going on in the past couple weeks. Others of you may not. And we got another barn burner today because we're going to have a lot of fun discussing what she has done, what she's doing right here on this platform, what she's doing here in the law enforcement arena, and things that she's already accomplished. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you keep those likes up, all right? Keep those likes up and share it because this is a good opportunity and this is good information. Like I said, I'm Coach Clee. Some of you know me as Clark Tent. Some of you know me as Clee Tillman. Either way, I'm your host, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it because we're on 5 different platforms right now, ladies and gentlemen. 5. We're on 2 on YouTube, we're on 2 on Facebook, and we're on 1 on LinkedIn. So therefore, like I said, this is a live and interactive show, but I can't see who's on here because of all the different platforms we're on. So if you're looking for that shout out, you got to put your name and where you're from in the comment section, and we'll give you that shout out that you're looking for. If you have a question or comment, you have to put that in the comment section too, and we will address it as soon as we can. All right. We may actually be on to another topic by the time that you post it, but we will address it. All right. This is about a 5 to 10 second delay from the time that you post it till the time that we see it. All right. This platform is sponsored by One Way Publishing. One Way Publishing has brought you the Sergeant Be Safe commercial that you saw at the beginning of this podcast, and also periodically throughout this podcast as well. It is also the sponsor for One Way Publishing for the book publishing company itself. Got 5 books behind me that I published, and they have many more clients, especially coming down for the holiday season. This is right on time. They got those stocking stuffers for you. So if you're looking to have your own book published, One Way Publishing is the way you want to do it. Their motto is they can turn a mere thought into a book that's bought. Workwithclee.com is scrolling down at the bottom, and it's also in the comment section if you have any questions. Make sure you guys check that out. Not right now, but after this live is over, all right? We're going to jump right into it. We got good information, got some a wonderful person back here. I'm going to introduce her in a minute, but I got to show you, set the stage quickly. I have to show you exactly what happened. This has been well planned, well thought out. I want to give a shout out to the American Literacy Corporation. I want to give a shout out to Madison Stokes. I want to give a shout out to Floyd Stokes on their great platform and utilizing their platform. Every single time there's a children's book that comes out, it's a great platform to share that information and also read to the world, the children that still like to have books read to them. So we're going to show you a quick clip on what happened on ALC a few weeks ago. All right, stand by.
365. Thank you so much for joining us today on this magnificent Monday morning. I'm your host here, Madison Stokes, and super excited because we have an awesome guest today. We have Clee Tillman with us. So, Mr. Clee, how you doing this morning?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for having me on this platform again.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you back. I know you have a very interesting and awesome book to share with us, so excited to hear that. And there's a fun fact here that we'll share about his book. It was written by a New York City police detective and actually going to be a guest on his show in a few weeks. So definitely we're going to talk about that. But thank you so much again, Mr. Clee, for joining us, and I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, all. Thank you guys for tuning in again. My name is Clee Tillman. I'm going to be reading a children's book called Twins in the City. Let's learn about police officers. And this book was written by Adrian Goodwin and Christopher Goodwin and illustrated by Bria DeBosi. I hope I said that correctly. It's a children's book that she wrote. Let's jump into it. All right. Twins in the City. Let's learn about police officers. Twins Madison and Mia were excited to spend the day in the city with their parents. The city was busy. It was full of taxis, buses, people, and buildings that stretched to the sky. Soon after they arrived, the twins spotted a police officer on a horse. I wonder how police officers keep everyone safe in such a big city, Madison said. Mia, do you know what kinds of things police officers do? Well, I know they help people during emergencies, and they also keep us safe by doing things like crowd control and directing traffic, said Mia. Oh, and last week I saw a police officer talking to a business owner, said Madison. Wow, there's so many things police officers do in the community, Mia said. I wonder how they get to know everyone. Girls, Have you noticed that there are police officers who look just like you and me? Mom asked. They represent different cultures from around the world and interact with people daily while on the job and the community. You're right, Mom. I can see police officers who look just like you and me. She's brown-skinned with curly hair and has dark eyes, said Madison.
Wanting to maybe start a podcast or a business or go for that dream that they have or that aspiration, maybe what are some, practicals or encouragement for them to just continue on and go for it?
So stagnant water attacks mosquitoes. You got to move forward. You got to just jump in and do it. You got to take that leap. And it's more than likely not going to be perfect because even if you try something new, you're not going to be a genius right off the top. You're not going to be, you could be, but more than likely you're going to have to put in that work, put in those things. But the hardest part is getting started. And once you get started, it's kind of like a rocket ship taking off. It burns a lot of fuel taking off, but eventually it will get off the ground. And once it gets off the ground, it burns less fuel, but it's flying higher at a faster pace until it finally reaches its mark. So therefore, you're going to burn up a lot of energy. You're going to burn up a lot of resources in the takeoff. But the takeoff is important because once you get off the ground, it's smooth sailing.
Wow. That sounds like a new intro to a book. I'm going to wait for that.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I had a lot of fun on ALC's platform. Make sure that if you have a children's book, you guys check them out too and do get your scheduled time to read. Here's my copy. I got mine on Amazon, Twins in the City, and that's the copy that I read on the platform. You guys make sure you do that. It's a perfect time to go ahead and get that because it's a good stocking stuffer. It's a good educational tool. We got a couple people on here. Shayla saying good evening and American Literacy Corporation. Absolutely. Got Dr. Travis Yates. That's a cool concept. Yes, it is. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys tag, like, and share. I appreciate both. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce our special guest who's an 18-year veteran along with law enforcement. Has also been criminal justice educator at John Jay College, a detective and investigator, a hostage negotiator, an author of the book that we were just discussing about, and a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to bring her to the stage now, Adrian Goodwin. Adrian, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much for having me, Clee. Wow, what an intro. Absolutely. I was sitting backstage like this. I'm so excited. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm so thrilled to be on your podcast. You're doing amazing things. So this is going to be, it's going to be fun. This is going to be fun, everyone. So please drop your questions in so we can answer them and let this be as interactive as possible.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for making yourself available. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I first saw her on another podcast while I was scrolling through YouTube. And I was like, wow. And I watched the interview. I was like, wow, who is this? And then I researched her on LinkedIn. I said, I'm not going to be able to find her. But I found the book that same day, ordered the book, and I found her on LinkedIn, reached out, and we scheduled for today. And here we sit. So I appreciate you making yourself available. I appreciate all the things that you've done, Ms. Goodwin. Seems like a kind soul. We could all use more of that from Dr. Travis Yates. Absolutely. Absolutely. But we had you here on the platform. I gave you an intro, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, please?
So I am a wife, a mom. I have 4 children. I have twin girls that are 8 years old. I am a fitness enthusiast. I love working out every single day, at least 5 days a week in the gym. And I started running like the last 3 months. I just picked up this knack for running. So I've been doing a couple of 10Ks and 5Ks. I don't know where to get all this energy at 45 years old. But that just have been like the fuel that just kind of keeps me going, just really focusing on myself because self-care is definitely important in this field of work. So making sure that I allocate that time for myself. Law enforcement practitioner for the last 19 years with the New York City Police Department, adjunct professor, just out here, just really just trying to serve the community, spread the message of just bridging the gap. But, you know, I enjoy life, and I always try to look for moments to just create these joyous occasions for myself and my family. I'm married. My husband, he's a retired detective for the last 5 years. So he's just waiting for me now.
He's on the other side. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, he's been gone military, just like yourself. He was in the Army. So we are a household of service. So it's pretty cool that my girls get to kind of see, both of their parents, law enforcement, which is, that's kind of rare sometimes to see that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is for both mom and dad.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Wow, so many amazing things. You're living your best life. Yeah, and that's where you get your energy from. You're coming in here with a good zeal, smiling. You got a lot of things going on, and that keeps that flame burning within inside you. Let me ask you, what gave you the burning desire to actually want to get in law enforcement a couple years ago?
Oh, a couple of years ago. It's so funny. I started my career as a teacher. I was a second grade teacher before I switched over. I did it for a couple of years. And when I discovered Facebook, many moons ago, there was a classmate that I had in 7th grade. And she said, that was all you talked about was being a police officer. I was like, really? She was like, yes, I remember you in 7th grade saying that is what you wanted to be. So I guess I am at the place where my heart desired, because I didn't even know I had like that early dream to want to be a police officer, because I am the first one and the only one in my family besides my husband that's in law enforcement.
Okay.
I don't have any like mentors, any people to look up to, but I guess it's just, it just goes back to a heart of service and wanted to give back to my community, which, starts from my grandmother, going to church with her and the food pantry and handing out food. So, I come from the inner city, so you want to be who you want to see, so I saw the teachers and the firemen and the policemen. So those are the professions that I was most familiar with. So I am here 19 years later. As January 10th, I will have 19 years on the job.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not an easy feat, especially going through everything that's been going through these past couple of years. You see a lot of people doing the quiet quitting or exiting out, or it's been a huge retention problem, a huge recruitment problem. So to hang on in these perilous times right now, I personally salute you.
Yeah, definitely. No, and so thank God you just said that, because the work that I do at the school, that's a part of it. It's the mentorship. A lot of these kids, they are first generation aspiring law enforcement officers. They don't have anyone to kind of navigate this arduous task of investigative background and all this paperwork to come on the job. And some don't even have an interest in being a police officer. They want to do more like the policy making, and then they Professor Goodwin's class, and they go, you know what? If I can be someone like you, if I can meet more people like you, I want to be a police officer. And over the last 8 years, I've been an adjunct professor at the school. I've had countless students who have changed their mind during that course of the semester and have joined me on the job, which has been such a huge reward to be able to give in that way. So that lets me know that, hey, we all can do our small part to make a difference. And that's what it's about.
Absolutely. That's getting it right there, the ground roots right there, because like we said, recruitment is a huge problem. And I had someone reach out to me, and they were interested in no dig at them. They watched a little bit of CSI growing up and things like that. They're like, I want to get into police work too, but I just want to go straight into forensic. I want to analyze the crime scene and go find the bad guy. And I'm like, there's many steps involved before you get there. And understanding you got to work, most departments, most agencies, you got to work a certain level of patrol first before you can branch out. And like, oh, I don't want to do. That's the foundation. Then you start branching, and then having the conversation is most important, because a lot of the new kids, younger adults, don't realize the steps that you have to go through to get to where they potentially want to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's boots on the ground. That's where you start off at. And then you can go to all of those specialized units that you and I are part of. But, you serve your time on patrol, serving the people in your city or whatever you work at, and then you can put in for those specialized units.
Absolutely. So during your time of service, tell us about your presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden that you are a recipient of. How good of a feeling is that, and how did you earn that?
Oh my gosh, I got an email that I was being nominated for this award. I didn't even know this award exists at all. So it's from AmeriCorps, and it's from the Office of the President of the United States. And just a culmination of your service, your dedication to the many hours you put into giving back to, bettering your community. So, it's just a testament to, sometimes your head is down, you're working, and people are just watching you. And that's what I attribute that to. Like, people see the work that you're doing. So I was just like, what? This is so cool. Like, oh my gosh. Just to be able to share these moments with my kids is just, I feel like I'm their superhero when they see me, achieving these different accolades in my career. But
that's good. That's good.
Because I don't have anyone, I don't have a model, I don't have a model. I'm the first one, for a lot of families. They have a legacy. They have their fathers, their grandfathers that were on the job. They can pass down so much knowledge and becoming a detective and becoming a hostage negotiator, which is, you really don't see that as well. A Black female hostage negotiator with the largest police department, and then teaching in the subject matter. Hopefully I'm paving the way for other little boys and girls to come behind me and say, if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's just what it's all about. It's truly just passing the torch. It's not about keeping information for ourselves. And that is what service is, right? Day in and day out, whether we're on the job or off, we're always working and serving our community.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure you're a trailblazer and pioneering the way for, like you said, little boys and girls to come behind you. And then they see your energy and they're able to, I'm pretty sure, I can't speak for it, but I'm pretty sure you're very approachable in all the different, not some of the classes you may give or pop-ups you may give along with kids. They may be there for boys and girls clubs, Girl Scouts, things like that, and having a one-on-one conversation, and they see your energy and like you're very easy to talk to, and you're actually doing this when the police officers that I see may be a little standoffish or not approachable, but you're actually shaking hands with me. I can actually come and ask you a question. You're giving me a smile with an answer. That's got to be a game changer in itself.
You know what it is. And I tell my students, I tell people, we can't change the world at the snap of our fingertips, right? We can change the perception on how people think and feel about law enforcement just from our encounter. Like, we have to be truly responsible for what we do and what we say and how we make people feel. So that empathy goes the distance, right? It goes a long way. And we have to treat people the way that we want to be treated. That is work of a public servant, right? That is the work of giving back. That is the work of ensuring that people feel included, people feel heard. Like, that is just what we do, is treating people with humanity. And that's what it's about. When you do that, you can smile and have a great career, like you can, because you do right by people. And that's what it's about. And I think that's the energy that I give off when I teach. Man, like, you're just so cool. I have a lot to be grateful for, to be honest. I am truly blessed to have this career, have the life that I have created. And I just want to just continue to just keep serving. So that's just, I can't say any more about that.
Yeah, it comes across very easily. Absolutely. Got Seti P in here saying, good evening, sir. Thank you for tuning in, Seti P. Make sure you tag, like, and share. And there we go. See, I'm the perfect timing, Seti P, because therefore I was telling you about it earlier. Here it is right here. Twins in the City, the children's book right here. What inspired you to actually want to write and create and actually bring to life a children's book?
So there were a couple of moments along my journey that sparked this idea. So number one, I was invited to a career day at a Girl Scout. It was a troop, a Girl Scout area. And I went to my local library to look for a police book. I only found one book. And I'm like, this book doesn't represent the people that I'm going to read to. Man, I wish I had a book. Then I started teaching at John Jay, and the subject matter that I teach is diversity in law enforcement. So it focuses on the peacekeeping in a multicultural society, right? What does that look like? Building cultural competency in our community and understanding and awareness. And as we begin to kind of like go down this path of looking at different ethnicities and the myths and the stereotypes and just how do we really forge this bond, I would have kids that would say, first, number one, I've never met African-American detective or police officer in person, maybe on TV. And Another student said, I've never seen a policewoman wearing a hijab. And I go, man, really? And years later, my daughters asked me, they said, I know police catch the bad guys, but like, what else do they do? Question, I have this statement. So I was like, you know what? I just felt like law enforcement was missing a huge opportunity to interact with kids early on. But what was important to me about this book was, number one, was highlighting the diversity within law enforcement as it reflects our ever-changing demographics in our communities. So if someone read this book, they would see someone who looks like me, that's black with curly hair. You would see a police officer wearing a hijab. You would see somebody wearing a turban. You would see someone, hear someone speaking Spanish, Asian American, like it covers who we see. So it was important for me to highlight that in the book. And I remember my husband and I, we did a career day at a local school. And towards the end of it, the student came up, probably in the 11th grade, and she goes, I would like to be a police officer, but how can I? And she went like this. She pointed to her hijab. And I looked at my husband and said, like, this is why we're writing this book. It's because children need to see themselves in all professions, right? We know that law enforcement is not the premier profession, right? It's like that untraditional type profession, unless, you have people in your family, but representation is important in all fields. And I know how important that was to just really highlight those stories. So, you have the book. So when you open the book and you see those vivid illustrations, you're just like, man, it just come to life. And, reading to kids, they're able to say, I see me. This looks like me. Wow, that is so cool. So that is what sparked that idea. And it's pretty almost like a true story too, because my husband and I, we're both on a job. So we take us to the city all the time, and we see police officers, we'll stop them, we'll interact with them. So that's the premise of the book. We go to the city, New York City, and we get to see all the different things that police officers do in the community. So it is a great educational tool. It's a great conversation starter. It's great for kids, grades, 3 years old on up, because, you was on American Literary Corporation, and even Madison Stokes, she said, I'm 19. I've never seen a policewoman with a hijab in a picture book. So those are the stories, I hear that lets me know, hey, you're onto something. You're onto something. Yeah.
You're doing the right stuff. Yep. Got Cy Emery on here, another author of books. I'm enjoying this interview. Ms. Goodwin is a very well a very well read guest. Sorry about that. Print small. A credit to our community. Plus, I'm digging the Delta Sigma Theta sweater. He's a fine noob. There you go. Shayla's on. Representation is important. Absolutely. I was just going to dig into that right now because, I know you were talking about diversity and inclusion, and also our profession, our job is to be engaging with the community and doing community service and community policing. And community policing has been a big deal, especially these past 3 to 5 years. It's been push. How much community policing do you do? How much engagement do you do? And your book right here is like a gateway in that very easily doing community policing, because you can show up at a school, you can show up at an event, you can show up at a town hall with a single book. You can go on a platform, American Literacy Corporation, and read the book, and it hits that one. And it wasn't by me. That one was shared by many people. That one was viewed by many people, and that it was a good book. It was a good share to have on there. How important is it to you to actually get out there and letting this be a segue in the community policing?
Man, it is the cornerstone to just what I do. Every opportunity I find, I am there. Every library, every school that books me, I am showing up. And when I show up, I don't just show up with the book. I have a whole entire production that I show up with. It's one of them things like, wow, I didn't think author reading was like this. But you're interacting with young kids and their imagination, and they want to see the colors and the illustration and looking at picture clues. And I think that that's just so important. So they can, I have a trailer for the book as well. that I highlight too. So it shows those important dynamics of what the book is about. But yeah, like every opportunity I get to just be in front of someone sharing, like you said, from the kids to the adults, they just go, I had no idea. I'm like, can you tell me more about this? You should have been in recruitment, because I probably would have been a police officer had I met you. But I think this is just the beginning. This book is very, very new. It's only been out less than 6 months. And and the traction it has gained has been like, wow. You saw at least one, which is a huge international podcast, and front page papers, and people just reaching out to do stories about the book because it's different, it's unique. And then you're looking at my background and who I am, and as a mom, as a law enforcement practitioner, as an educator, all these different hats that I wear, I'm able to kind of live this in real life, in real time, because I have to have these talks too with my children. But I'm enjoying it. I'm telling you, when I retire, this is all I want to do. I do engagements and author visits at schools and just talk about building cultural competency and just really just highlighting conflict resolution skills that are needed in our school. So that is like the premise of everything that I do, is really bringing back civility. I think we kind of missed that a little bit, right? Bringing back civility in our schools so that we can create safety, inclusion, and building a brighter future for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Good answer. We got Deborah Carter on here, Dr. Adrian, a much needed topic. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stand by. We're going to pause for the call. Sergeant Be Safe has a quick interjection. Then we're going to jump right back into this interview. So don't go anywhere. Stand by.
Thanksgiving should be a safe and happy holiday. It's a time where most friends and family can get together. It's also a holiday where most crimes involving alcohol take place.
Sergeant Be Safe is absolutely right. I'm just gonna stay here and get big.
Hello, Mario. What's going on? Captain Chaos and I will be right there.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I need another one, Mario.
Oh my goodness.
Welp, I'm out of here.
Sergeant Sefa, I need your head now. This is the worst holiday ever.
Come on, Rob, you blind. We'll take my car.
You're swerving all over the roadway, fool. Look out! Ooh. Run, you fool!
I'm so dizzy. I can't run straight.
I was working out today. I'm up for a good chase.
You guys won't get away. Stop before things get worse. You can't catch me.
Gotcha. Put him up.
Disorderly conduct, public drunkenness, and DUI. You guys just ruined your holiday. While you're sitting in jail, you guys can figure out how you're going to pay for the damages. Remember, folks, you can always get a designated driver, ride sharing, public transportation, or even carpool so you can have a safe holiday. And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
And we are back. I hope you guys like that cartoon by Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos. But we're jumping back into this interview. Got Adrian Goodwin here, and we're talking about Twins in the City, this book that has been highlighted. And I didn't know it was only out for almost 6 months now, so it's making waves already. Can you you already started getting into it, how much has been making an impact prior to it was being published, now after it's already published, and where do you see it? What are some of your goals, maybe another 6 months to a year to 5 years from now, as far as this book is concerned?
Well, I'm blown away, but I just want to just take a step back because I know this is going to help someone. I almost did not write this book.
Okay.
Did not almost like, I didn't believe that this story, that people really cared about the story.
Mm.
And I sat on this project for about 5 years.
Wow.
Yep. And it was during the pandemic. During the pandemic, my husband said, that's it. Go get paper from downstairs, the copy machine, fold it in half, make it look like a book, but you're going to start writing because you've been talking about this project for so long. I didn't believe that I was capable of doing it. So once I built my confidence and I said, you know what, this story is needed, right? I really had to tell myself that. And I decided to, like, you know what, that's it. And then once I kind of like surrender, like this whole thing, like, okay, I don't want to control this destination anymore. Right. So take over. And then like all of the seeds just started planting, I feel like you're just orchestrating every step from, I told you before, from the illustrate. I'm like, I need to illustrate. I go on LinkedIn. I'm like, there it is. Like every piece of information that I needed to put this project together, it all fell into place. So the preparation up to the launch was amazing. After the launch, I did what do you call, like a book launch? I had a local chief from the department come with his uniform on.
That's cool.
Shake hands. I mean, just the love to say, this is definitely needed. So, we're on Amazon, we in Barnes and Nobles, we are in Walmart. I just found out that we are in another local bookstore in Ohio. I didn't even.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm gonna release that next week. But yeah, I just found that out the other day. So just want to make sure that I get this into every store in the community. And my goal is to have this book in every law enforcement agency. That is my goal. Like, I think every department can benefit from this book. This is a great tool for their community affairs, outreach, or their unit to use as a tool to help bridge the gap, because there's a department that does readings at school and they read in, Dr. Seuss books. I'm like, but you're a police officer. You should be reading a police book to the children.
I've heard that. Yeah.
There's some gaps that need to be filled, and I'm going to hit the pavement and make sure that Twins in the City stretches from not just here locally, but I definitely want to see this work on an international level and young girls there to see themselves in law enforcement, strengthening community, strengthening dialogue as well. That's my background, right? Is hostage negotiation. So definitely want to build stronger ties within the community to equip them with the tools that they can negotiate the life that they want to live. And let's see where it goes from there. Yeah.
So it's an inspiration to the youth that are watching you now, because there's an old phrase saying, when the student arrives, the teacher will appear. So you had to actually give yourself permission to accept the fact that, yes, you know what? I want to do this. You're going back and forth in your head and playing tug of war. And then when you finally accept it, like, yes, I'm doing this, and you start putting pen to paper and actually taking steps, moving toward accomplishing your goal, things miraculously fall in line. The law of attraction will occur. Thank you. You didn't need an illustrator. Bam, you found an illustrator. You're like, I don't know how to publish a book, but you just got started, and block by block started happening until the domino effect happened. And then eventually you got the finished product right here. And now you're sitting on multiple podcasts. You're doing showings, you're doing book launches, that having this subject matter done to where you're looking to go grow internationally. And I'm looking to watch you flourish. Absolutely. Got a comment here. Congratulations on your success thus far. This is needed. Looking forward to following your journey, by Shayla. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Shayla. Yeah, it just goes back to truly believing in yourself and the power of storytelling, right? Like, we all have that very important story that's near and dear to our heart. And we may think it's small. Like, I don't think people are going to be really interested in this, but if it matters to you, it matters to someone else. So, write the story, whatever dreams that you're sitting on, just execute. I think once I really felt my confidence to say I can do and be anything. Like, I think even at 45, you're still dreaming and you still wanting to become the next the next version of yourself. And I think that's what life is all about. It's that evolution of who we're always developing into. And that's the beauty that, we just try to just hold on to those moments and say, hey, we don't have to stay in a box. We don't have to stay in a box. We can flourish in other areas. But writing this book has positioned me for other opportunities, right? More speaking, more workshops. So had I not written this book, oh my gosh, had I not written this book, I don't even know all these opportunities that just fell on my lap would not have been. So the higher powers that be was waiting for me to show up. It's like, okay, like I already told you what you need to do. Like now I need you to execute, and I got you. But I
get
need
it done.
to trust and believe and have faith that what I gave you is for you. And once I did that, then the boldness, the confidence, I'm like, I'm in people inboxes. I'm inboxing news reporters. Like that's how confident I'm like, no, you need this story. You like this is groundbreaking. This is breaking news. Like that's the confidence that you need to have about the work that you are doing. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. I got hopefully I'm saying this right. Tawana Gosley in here saying hi, Adrian saying yes, she loves it and it's opening doors as well. Cy Emery back here again. Congratulations on the book and continue to inspire our youth. Deborah Carter. Let me get the comments are coming in. Yeah, entrepreneur, and it goes beyond the writing. She's a true entrepreneur. Yep, such a great story. Absolutely. Sorry, like I said, it's about a 10-second delay, so all the comments don't come in all at once. But I appreciate you guys commenting. Keep it up. You're such an inspiration coming in right now. Absolutely, yeah. So tell us the impact that that it's having on the youth or departments or just interactions. Have you had someone that you spoke with before or that has read the book that you might have, you passed the book off at an event and then that person may have reapproached you and said, you know what, Miss Adrian or Miss Goodwin or detective or police, whatever, however they addressed you, I read your book and it inspired me so much. And you're like, wow, I don't even remember the interaction that we had, but I'm glad that it inspired you to the point where you're actually seeing diversity. You're actually seeing police officers that look like you, and it's changing the mindset on what you want to become or what you're looking into as you're growing and developing.
Yeah, I wish I had the picture right next to me. That first encounter that I said when I was going to read at a Girl Scout troop, and I went and couldn't find a book. The little girl from that troop, now this was 5 years ago, came to my launch of 2020 wearing my police hat that I gave her to put on that day.
Oh, that's cool.
Her mother blew up the picture. She blew up 2 pictures and she asked me to sign. And she said, my daughter wants to be a police officer because of you. That was 5 years. That was before the book was even published. So when they walked into the launch and she showed me the picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this. This is when that seed was planted. But the fact I inspired this little girl 5 years ago. Now she's only, she's maybe 9 at a young age, but her mother, she's like, I had to be here. I had to be at your launch. And I'm like, I'm signing the autograph. I'm like, it was just so cool. We took pictures, but I'll definitely share that photo underneath the links on all the sites. Okay. So just the power of just what you do, and you really don't know the impact that you have until you start hearing those stories. But I think the book for me will pay dividends later on, as far as recruitment goes, where someone would say, hey, I read your book in 3rd grade and 4th grade. It inspired me. But now hearing little girls say, I want to be a police officer because you're a police officer and you look like me. And and the mother's like, wow, this is great. I need to have you back. I want to bring you to my church. I want to bring you to my school. So it's a continuation of the story and how those encounters allow the story to live on. And I think that's why the stories have such a huge success in so many communities, is because of those encounters.
It's interesting. I like that you planted the seed in someone, you didn't know that it was going to actually be watered and grow into a plant that eventually will turn into a tree that shall not be moved, on something that you actually doubted yourself initially until you actually gave yourself permission to get it done and accomplished. And now that you accomplished it, you allowed that little girl to be able to, I can do it too. So you gave her permission to accomplish it. So now you're passing on a legacy from generation to generation because you made a decision. I know Madison asked me this question when we were on American Literacy Corporation. I'm going to somewhat ask it to you as well. To that person that wants to do that job, wants to write that book, wants to go after that dream, what would you tell them to go ahead and go after that dream, or to be inspired, or to make that heart get out of their comfort zone, which is very difficult to do? What would you say to them?
I would tell that person there is no growth in the comfort zone, and whatever agreement you had with that person that has broken your trust or made you feel inadequate as a little girl, as a young woman, I need you to divorce that agreement. Because I think for a lot of people, and especially women, that holds them back. There was somebody who told them, you sing too loud. You shouldn't sing like that. You're not beautiful enough. You talk too much. And they held on to those agreements. And that has stagnated them all throughout their life, where they are afraid to move forward. So my thing is to negotiate the life that you truly want to have for yourself, right? Like there needs to be some things in your life that are non-negotiable. There needs to be that are set. And, and I do like this 3C format. It's communicating your needs and your wants as an individual, right? Setting those boundaries as a person. That's how you're going to move forward. The other C is building a community, right? You need to surround yourself with people that's going to nurture your growth. And for a lot of people, they don't have a supportive network. God don't want us in this world all by ourselves, right? So you have to cultivate. If you truly have to cultivate that community, then you need to go find it. And it may not just be you going from your home to work and back home. No, that may be, let me go to the business commerce. Let me go to a workshop in my community. Let me go to a networking event. Let me surround myself with people that are like-minded. So that individuals feed off of each other, because where you're at, people are depleting you. Like there is no cup runneth over. Your cup is right. And then the last thing is collaborating, right? Collaborating with people that are in your circle. Whether you want to be an author, find author groups on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Like there are so many wonderful communities that I had to tap into, because this was a whole new world for me. There's no publishing. Like I had to navigate, and it took me a little longer, but I'm like an overachiever. I just like to just do things. I want to learn. I want to see how it works from behind and how it's built. Wow. that's me. A little longer. I appreciate the grit. Like I appreciate being gritty and really truly doing the work. So collaboration. So communicate your needs, your wants, and your desires, and set your boundaries. Communicate and then collaborate with people that are going to nurture your growth. And just do it. Like, man, I can't tell you how grateful I am for saying yes. Saying yes.
I believe.
I am like when the camera goes off, I'm still going to be smiling. Like, this is just me. I am so grateful that I said yes to me. I'm grateful that not only did I write the book, I'm grateful that I put my health first. I'm grateful that I'm intentional about setting time for myself each and every day. An hour for me in the gym is like therapeutic for me. But you have to find those moments. Yeah, you do. And it's not about the hustle and the bustle. We really have to pause and enjoy the view. And one of the things I started doing, I'll just tell you real quick. One of the things I started doing was, how sometimes you're just driving and you see some great places, whether it's a great water view, it's a great park, but you're always in a rush and you never able to stop. I started documenting places that I have driven by for years and never pulled over. And I just record myself like, man, have you guys ever gotten out your car and just stood here and looked at the water? It's like, man, I've been driving that bridge 30 years, that highway, I've never pulled over. You know, like it's a safe road, of course, but I've never stopped because we're always in a rush going. It's just a testament to truly how we need to be about the things that we truly want and desire in life.
Yep. Got a couple comments on the floor. Jimmy Jamon Nelson's on here. That's when you're really a true inspiration, when you're impacting others unintentionally. Absolutely. Jametta Colston's on here. Yes. Representation matters and it creates a sense of belonging. Yep. Tawana, no growth in the comfort zone. That's good. And Jametta agrees with you, going from point A to point B and not actually stopping and smelling the roses, for lack of a better term. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta find that thing that moves you. You do.
So that's a good point. Getting out of your comfort zone and taking the time for yourself and that therapy and the mental therapy. You say you take time to go to the gym to get you that kind of resets and get you back to your zero to rebalance. Yes. And mental health is a big deal in the community. And as far as our community, we're actually kind of touching on it a little more and law enforcement and first responders within these past couple of years, when it's something that's, I remember when I started, it was something that was swept under the rug. You see a traumatic scene, something that may or may not have bothered you, but you're told, okay, yeah, get over it, sweep it, be done with it, and move on to, because you still have calls stacked. So you got to go ahead and take care of other things. But actually, even though it's being dealt with more so and being brought to the forefront, you still have to take time in your personal life to actually recenter, re-zero yourself to make sure that you're good. So that way you can be, your cup is full. And when you start pouring out your service, you can be beneficial toward others.
Yeah, no, when I do, have like hostage jobs, I take the day off the next day because mentally I am drained.
I believe that.
Drained, like some of them can be quick, some of them can be hours long of negotiating. It's not an easy task to do.
I believe that.
Trying to suppress your own emotions and then help somebody navigate through this dark space in their life. That's tense. You know what I mean? Like, people at the highest emotional state, and you're trying to, bring them down to a level where you can be able to talk to them on a rational level to get them to comply. I'm off the next day because I definitely need that self-care.
That's a mental drain in itself. I know I've been on calls with hostage negotiators in certain aspects on performances of duty. I'm not one, but I've been there. I've seen them in the performance of their duty for high risk calls, or just being on the perimeter for those calls. I mean, just hurry up and wait. Doing that's draining in itself. So I can only imagine it's physically draining to be there, but then to actually think 2 or 3 steps ahead, try and figure out doing a background, not trying to give away too much, but who the person may be, what they if it's a mental health call, if narcotics are involved, what it can be, and to come up with a peaceful resolution can be mentally taxing in itself.
I'll just share one quick story because this is already public. I received an award from the American Suicide Society for a 5-hour negotiation. It was the lead negotiator, and this was a individual who was having marital problems. He had a firearm. He was barricaded inside of his apartment. This was the first time that his apartment had used a drone. Like just imagine downtown Brooklyn, high-rise building, so they're able to see where the gun is being placed. And I had coming into work, and I got the call that I was going to the scene, and I'm like, yeah, this not going to be called off. Like this call is serious. Like the highways blocked off, and by the time I started negotiating, it was literally a 5-hour negotiation. We were, able to come out and comply, and he went on to receive medical treatment. But, when they called and they said, hey, we want to give you the Hope Award for deploying conflict resolution skills, like I was just overwhelmed with emotion. I remember I was at my desk and I was just crying because to save someone's life, like that is just, I don't even know where it comes from sometimes. Like I'm just like in this zone to just really, truly help someone find a piece of light in this dark space that they may have. To be able to deploy conflict resolution skills is just, I was bawling at my desk.
I bet.
And, one of the things that I kind of hung on, there's a whole process of how we do things. But one of the things I said to him, I said, "You are a great father." He was like, "No." I said, "Yes, you are. Like, you are a coach. Your kids need you. They have a base game coming up. Regardless of everything else that was going on, I had zoned in on what mattered to him. Like that little bit of hope was his children. And that is what I focused on. And he was able to come out, and hopefully he's all right.
Hopefully he's all right, like you said, and congratulations to you on the job well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And Tawana said, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Yes. And Deborah Carter, her authenticity is her main reason she's soaring to the next level. Absolutely. Let me ask you, we kind of touched on it a little bit with recruitment and retention within first responders and law enforcement. And nationally and internationally, there's a big crisis on keeping the seasoned vets and also recruiting the replacements in this profession. How do you believe that your book can help bridge the gap, or at least deal with the retention problem, which is a problem in itself, but much easily, how do you think it can deal with the recruitment problem itself? You kind of touched on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Twins in the City can definitely aid in the recruitment efforts for any law enforcement, because that is where it starts, right? The earlier programs that we see in law enforcement are the PALs, is the DARE programs that we see at schools. These are all geared towards steering kids in the right direction, being present in a non-enforcement way. I'm actually a board of directors for the Police Activity League in my community. So even though I serve my city, but in my own community, I know how important it is to have representation on the PAL side as well. So those earlier interactions can spark an interest. And a perfect story is the Suffolk County Police Commissioner, Rodney Harrison. He started out at a PAL in Queens, New York. And the cops were, they were police officers. And he was just like, wow, like, this is pretty cool. Like, he's just a little kid playing basketball. And he became a cadet while he was in college. He worked for the job. He got on the job. He became the highest ranking member of the service as a Black man. And then he became the first African-American police officer in Suffolk County. And it all started with the encounter of a PAL, of a police officer playing basketball. So we really don't know the dividends that our encounters can have. We just got to just keep doing the work year long. Like, it can't just be something we just put a Band-Aid on, or it's just, we're coming to communities when there's an unrest. There needs to be year-long programs that galvanize communities all over, so we can kind of create this pool and transition them and have tutorials. Some departments they can't really afford to have tutorials and different workshops. When I came on, there was a workshop at a local college. Remember, I'm first generation law enforcement officer. So I was like the first one sitting in the front row, like, what is on this test? I know I need to high because I really want this. You really don't see that all the time if they don't have the budget to have those classes. So just having a pool of people to kind of navigate through the process, and then mentorships, right? Tapping into the fraternal organizations that exist within all of our jobs, right? The goals, the Asian Jays, there's so many, there's a plethora of fraternal organizations that our young kids can kind of tap into, because they do a lot of community service work. And that's how you kind of find your mentors, right? I tell my class, you guys should be on LinkedIn. You should be following people that you aspire to be, because mentors, we open up the door. We make sure that, you don't have to do 10 steps. One step, right? We make the process that much faster than you, but a lot of kids don't have mentors at all. I think that is a huge factor in why we don't, why there's a lack of recruitment. If we had better mentorships, then we can navigate people on a job. If I had a mentorship, I probably would have taken a test and became a boss. I didn't have anyone
Yeah.
saying, hey, take the test, move up in rank. You know, I did the investigator route. I'm grateful with the route that I've taken, but how important that is. And, you know, and for all our professions, we need someone
to push you along. Yeah.
No, you do. And that is what we lack.
Yeah, I had shout out to Jimmy Oliver. He's with the PAL program in Syracuse. He was on the show, former guest on the show, and he talked about how important it was. The story on Stephen A. Smith when he was growing up. His mother was either affiliated with the PAL program or he grew up in the PAL program himself, and how it impacted him. And he, of course, he didn't get into law enforcement itself, but he regulated on how when he was mentoring the youth, he would also throw that out there, or he said how it shaped and molded him in the community to the point where he highlighted first responders and law enforcement officials to the point he like, I love them, I accept them, I grew up with them, I've done so many, they helped me do my homework, they helped me learn about this sport, they helped me do so many things that you wouldn't even attribute to someone who's not even affiliated in as a first responder who's on TV doing sportscasting.
Right, but that's what the book adds to. Right? It's, you know, how do we become more familiar with law enforcement? Like, how do we really add to the basic knowledge that kids see? You know, like before I read, I always ask the kids, what do police officers do? Oh, they lock up the bad guys. Yep, they put them in jail. They put them in handcuffs. Okay, they eat donuts. I just laugh. I just thought that was hilarious. Yeah. Donuts. I said, but what else do they do? That was it.
And it goes quiet. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't know that they wear different hats. I didn't know that they speak different languages. I didn't know that they do X, Y, and Z in the community. So that is what, you may not become a police officer, but at least that element of fear is not there, because we're starting the dialogue early on. We're building understanding and awareness. And that is the key. So that alleviates the problems that we will see when we have to have those talks on, you know, we're not going to get into it, but we have those talks on what to do and stop by the police. Early on, I know.
Yeah. This is part of how it's going. Okay, bam, I'm on my way. Thank you. Yep, absolutely.
Those are all the dividends that it will show later on.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to pause for the calls. We're starting to be safe, and we're going to jump right back in. So if you have your questions, if you have your comments, get them ready, because we're going to jump right back into it right after this segment of Starting to Be Safe. Oh, they tried to fool me. Hold on. We're going right back.
Hey there, Timmy. Ready to hand over your personal information?
Who are you and how did you get into my game?
Hold it right there. Sergeant Be Safe is here to put an end to your mischief.
That's right. We won't let you get away with this, Chance Wilder.
Oh, look who's here. I want to be hero in his sidekick. You can't stop me.
Come here, Timmy. Let's have a chat. It's time to outsmart Chance Wilder and protect your identity.
How can you do that, Sergeant Be Safe?
First, never share your personal information online, like your full name, address, or phone number. It's like giving Chance Wilder the key to your life. And secondly, remember to use strong and unique passwords for all your accounts. And don't make it easy for them to guess.
Timmy, always be cautious of suspicious links or downloads. They could be traps set by hackers.
Sergeant Be Safe, Captain Chaos to the rescue! Now let's show Chance Wilder what we're made of. Captain Chaos, initiate firewall defense.
Together we fight crime and keep everyone safe.
No fair. You can't stop me.
Oh, but we can, and definitely will. Together we can protect ourselves and stay safe online. Yes, we did it! Timmy, we did it! We showed Chance Wilder that we won't let him win.
Good work.
Did you
Sergeant Be Safe and Officer Bite. Now I feel more confident staying safe online.
I'm proud of you, Timmy. Remember, open communication is key. If you ever come across something suspicious or feel uncomfortable online, talk to me or another trusted adult.
Absolutely, Mr. Johnson. It's important to have a support system and work together to keep our online experiences secure.
I learned so much today, Dad, and I'm going to be more cautious and more responsible online.
That's my boy. Together, we'll navigate the digital world safely and have fun while doing it.
Well, Captain Chaos and Kraken are going to go arrest Chance Wilder, and I bid you and Timmy a good night.
Come out with your hands up.
Take it from me, Sergeant Be Safe. Let's be safe online. And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
Make sure you guys are safe for this holiday season. I know got gamers and computer guys on here. Don't give up your information so freely and willingly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back in this interview. We got Adrian Goodwin right here. We discussed her book that's available on Amazon, Twins in the City. We discussed community policing, diversity, and inclusion, some of her experiences while working on the job. So many wonderful things we discussed. We got a comment on the floor here. I love Sergeant Be Safe cards. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I love it. That's a friend of mine with a hook. But before we go, Adrian, let me ask you this. Through the course of conversation, I may have forgot to ask you something, or I may have jogged your memory on other things that you may have wanted to cover. Is there anything else that you wanted to discuss or share with us? Right now, the floor is yours.
I just want to share with your listeners, if you are interested in booking me as a speaker for your school, doing an office visit, or holding a workshop, or just coming in to talk about careers in law enforcement, please visit twinsinthecitybook.com. I would be delighted. I can do a virtual event as well if you live far. But I just truly just thank you for just taking the time to just listen to this important message that is so needed in all of our communities. And I hope you just go and you support and buy the book, Twins in the City. Let's learn about police officers. And I just truly appreciate each and every one of you.
Absolutely. We truly appreciate you making yourself available and coming on the platform. Twins in the City, like I said, is in the comment section on the Facebook pages and on the YouTube pages, not on LinkedIn. For whatever reason, it won't let me post on LinkedIn while I'm live, but it will make sure it gets there. It's also scrolling below. twinsinthecitybook.com. The website's right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys check that out. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had a lot. Adrian, I had a lot of fun with you here on the show. It was a pleasure to get to meet you. It was a pleasure to have you to read your book. And we got let me get this heckler right here.
I actually found the picture I was talking about. I don't know if you guys could see it. So that is the picture from her Girl Scout troop 5 years before the book was published. And she's holding an NYPD sign and my hat. Came to the book launch, and she said I inspired her. So I looked for the picture while we were on break to share.
There we go. I'm glad you were able to share that. Thank you. Yes, it was a great live. Absolutely. I appreciate. We're gonna make sure when things are flourishing, we're gonna truly invite you to have you back on the show. We got to keep this train going. We go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Black and Blue. This is the podcast where we interview first responders and law enforcement officials, whether they're rookie season or retirees. And when we interview them, we talk about their training experiences and publications. And November, I told you, was going to be a tremendous month. We had a lot of fun November. We're moving the train forward in December. We got a nice lineup. We got barn burners coming down. Make sure you guys tune in, tag, like, share, get this information out, because it's not just me. I'm making sure that we get this information out for all of us. We got individuals like Adrian coming on here, sharing her book that's available. Make sure you guys get your copy. It's stocking stuffer right before the holidays, and we're going to have a lot of fun getting this information out here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Coach Clee. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker, saying 10-4. over and out. We love you. Peace.
Yo! Disguised as one of Santa's helpers, I'll steal these presents from right under his nose. Now hold it there, you little fake elf. Be safe. What are you doing here? I would have gotten away with this if it weren't for you.
Sergeant Be Safe, you've been a very good boy this year. Hello, Santa and Rob You Blind. I knew you'd be in this area right about now.
Ooh.
Wow, this is perfect timing. This good family has just returned. It's always a good idea to keep your doors and windows locked when you're not home. Don't give Rob You Blind the advantage. There's very inexpensive cameras and security systems you can set up as well.
Sergeant Be Safe, thank you for coming. We appreciate everything you do. Without you, this holiday season would be ruined.
Wow, thank you, Sergeant Be Safe. You saved the day. You're welcome, and I'm happy to hear it. You guys enjoy the rest of the day. Santa, you have a safe trip back to the North Pole.
Ooh. Party pooper Be Safe.
No gifts for you, Rob You Blind. You'll be put away this holiday season. Sergeant Be Safe wants you and your family to have a safe and enjoyable holiday season. And that's your tip of the day, to have a safe holiday.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Subscribe now.